Hi, and welcome to an Inspiration Station video. I'm designer Jen Gallacher, and these videos are hosted by Scrapbook Expo. Today we're going to be creating a layout, and we're going to do a bit of layering. The first thing that we are going to add is we're going to add this green sheet of dot pattern paper from Lily Bee to this Echo Park paper Little Boy. It's got lots of little boy phrases and some fun blues and greens, which inspired the colors and patterns that I picked for this layout. So I'm placing this rectangle on the right side of the page, and it runs right along the right side of this particular page here. Then above that, on top, I'm going to layer a diagonally striped blue paper that brings out some of the blues that you see here. And then to mimic the look of stars, I'm going to take this Bella Boulevard paper that does have stars in it. It also matches the white, and we will add this to the green side. So some things I don't want to attach until I get the placement exactly how I want it. Then behind this blue paper, I'm going to add this beautiful jelly bean soup card that says important at the top, and it's in the same green. We're building a little boy page, and it's going to have lots of little vintage elements to it. Then to the top of the blue paper, I'm going to take this fun little tab that says status update, and we're just going to attach it using the fold as the guide to the top of that paper. And then we can add this paper to the right side of the layout. And we just want to make sure that the sides all align perfectly. Then on top of the star pattern paper, I'm going to bring in some more of this kind of creamy background. And I'm going to do that with this scorecard. It is double-sided, and it is from Jelly Bean Soup. It's from an ephemera pack. And we're going to stick it out. So lots of different layers to kind of draw the eye around the page. Now, something fun that you can do with a photo is I've printed this photo at 4 inches wide. So I print at home, but this is a 4x6 inch photo that's been cropped to 4x4. And I'm going to place the frame on top of it, but I want you to notice that I am going to center the frame on top of the photo. I'm not going to worry about putting the photo perfectly inside and then trimming it out. This is one technique that you can use. You simply layer the frame right on top of the photo. So even if this photo was a full 4x6 inch photo, you could use this technique. So it's just a fun way and a different way to kind of use up some of your frames. So go ahead and just layer right on top of the photo and leave some of the photo sticking out. So that's a new way, hopefully, that I've taught you to use your photos. And then we're going to place him, this is my little guy, right in this bottom corner. We're going to do some layering on the right. These are additional items from the Jelly Bean Soup ephemera pack. And we're going to use the left side of this blue diagonally striped paper as a guide. Then I'm going to take this 5-cent card, and we'll layer that on top. And then a Jelly Bean Soup sticker in gray to match the gray that you see on the Echo Park paper. You can see just a lot of little layers here. Then for the title of the layout, I'm going to use some rather large stickers, and I've kind of pre-peeled them off and tested them a little bit because I wanted to get a feel for if the title was the right size for my page. So we're just adding these words, and they're a great, nice, big script font. You could also die cut these out with your Cricut machine, or you could leave them as is, as I've done here. And we're going to marry the two sides of the page together by carrying the title right across that bottom edge. Let's go ahead and add some buttons to this card to kind of fill in that creamy white space, but I want to add some twine to the center first. So we'll add the buttons with some glue dots, and we'll place them right onto that creamy part of that 5-cent die cut. We'll create a little visual triangle with them. And then we can trim off the excess twine. And then this part of the layout needs a little bit of blue, so we're going to bring in a banner. This is a Heidi Swap banner. Just add a little bit of adhesive to each pennant shape. And this was actually a longer banner, but I trimmed it. Now, because the banner pieces are close together, I can kind of curve and manipulate it a little bit, which is fun. For this part of the layout, I'm going to use some shapes that I die cut with this Sizzix Concentric Star die cut shape. It's a manual die cut shape, but you could use this same technique using your Cricut machine to cut your shapes, or you can use large punches. What we're going to do is we're going to create a dimensional star. And to do that, we're going to use the scoring board to score each point of the circle, or rather the star. You'll want to start at the point, and then you want to come all the way down to the bottom using the ridges inside of this scoreboard. So do this for every single star. To give the stars their dimension, you'll want to fold along the scoring marks, and this will start to create the raised parts of the star. Make sure that each point of the star has a raised edge, and then using your nails or your fingers, just make sure that that line is nice and creased really, really well. And you'll follow that around for all the points of the star. And then using your fingers, you can kind of reshape it. But here's what the larger one looks like when it is made dimensional. To place the stars onto the layout, I suggest filling the innermost part of that star on the back side with some adhesive foam dots. That will help it stay raised on your page and will help it keep its shape. The smaller stars need less adhesive or less foam dots to maintain their shapes. And they will get a little squished inside of your albums, but it's just kind of a fun way to add dimension, and it's just really simple to do. If you don't have a scoring board, you can simply score them using your fingers or whatever works best for you. But you can see how it creates just a little bit of pop and dimension just using paper and a scoring tool. For the journaling, I've added some printed journaling onto craft cardstock, and I realized that after I printed the journaling that I want to place it a little lower on the page. So sometimes I'll change my mind midway through the project. So we just gently lift up, and then we can move things where we like. And I just want to make sure I don't cover the word is. Just gently peel that off. You can stick it back on. Now then you can take this bigger block and we can add it wherever we like. And it takes a bit for the adhesive to kind of set, so you can do this if you need to. So to make sure items are straight, but this creates a better visual triangle. So now let's create some washi tape flags. And how I do this is I'll take a pin and I will place it onto the tape, and then I'll fold it over. And then using the pieces as a guide, you can create fun shaped flags to go behind the area up here. You can take a wood grain, same concept. You can even roll it if you want, if that works better for you. You just want to make sure it is secure. And then for this one, I'm going to cut out little triangle pieces. And it's a little bit sticky, so you might want to use some precision scissors for this. Now, because they are washi tape, they do easily stick to the project. And then you can add additional washi tape around the layout. We'll add a little bit of that chevron as well. I'm going to lift up and do a layer of tape. And then I have some enamel dots. This is actually from a baby collection by Echo Park, but I love the green and the yellow in here. So we can just add some dots in the yellow to bring some more of that star yellow down to the bottom. And we can add some at the top as well. To add some more texture to the page, we're just going to simply add a few sequins, and I'm doing that with some small glue dots. And I have a few different styles and colors. I have some that are more shiny and some that are more of a matte finish. And then you can see that there are large and there are small, as well as some clear ones just thrown in for fun. And I just looked through my sequins and just found ones that would work for this particular part of the page. So the last thing I did was to add 2 buttons tied with twine here at the top. Thank you for joining me for today's Inspiration Station video. Be sure to join me each Thursday on the weekly Scrapper blog for additional ideas.